So apologies if I look very tired looking because it is 6:30 in the morning. I'm just after getting up. By the time this is uploaded, it'll be later on in the evening. I have it scheduled to upload. So by the time you see this, it could be 2 o'clock in the day. So forgive me for my tiredness if I seem tired. It's just before I'm about to, just literally after getting up and about to go to work, getting ready to go to work. So all that out of the way just for the start. So Simon Howes was on the big interview last night. Usually I don't watch the mainstream media, but obviously with the election coming up, I'm watching a bit of it just to get a gist of what's happening and what they're saying. So Simon Howes said a lot of waffle, I know the usual crack, what do you expect? We talk about self-deportations, he talked a lot about that last night. There's a lot to address there, but I want to address the other thing, and I suppose the Irish taxpayer what's adds us, and rightly so, because it's a misuse of public funds, and to be totally honest, somebody should be going to prison for this, to be totally honest, of a misuse of public funds. And that's to do with the bike shed. Now, everybody remembers the infamous bike shed, €350,000. The price of a house in Cavan, take for example. If you had 350,000, if I had 350,000, I could buy a nice house in Cavan. Beggars belief, but and then add on a bit extra, etc., etc. But long story short, it's an insane amount of money especially when you look at the bicycle shed. If that's 350,000, I don't know what to tell you, because again, you can buy nearly a full house for that. The price of the price of that. So, long story short, the main thing was that still to this, they know themselves. Simon Howes, of course, knows who had the final say, who signed off personally on it. And obviously, I don't think, maybe it was some politician, he said it wasn't some politician. I do think it might be some high civil servant in the Office of Public Works. But there definitely was some high up civil servant that's unaccountable, unelected by you or me. We don't even know their names because they're that high up. And it's the same within many government agencies. There's that many people high up that we never heard of in our life that have huge control over our society, etc., etc. And the same with the Office of Public Works. There's people that's unknown to us that are big individuals in the Office of Public Works who make decisions that affect the Irish taxpayer. Like, take for example, 350,000 less than obviously the bicycle shed, 1.4 million. No, not the bicycle shed, the security hut, and then the it's insane. And then the National Children's it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. But long story short, it's insane to say that Simon Howes is not willing. Nobody has been sacked over. Nobody's been put in prison yet. Not even if they were just put in prison or sacked, something would have been done. But basically, nothing's been done. It's all forgiven, all forgotten, and nothing's been loaned. Basically, the same old carry on. It has to probably happen, because it's all the secrecy. It's not like they say, yeah, we know who it was. It was Peter O'Reilly, say for example, from Timbuktu. He's in the Office of Public Works. He's over, whatever. He's over structures and stuff like that in the office. Just hypothetically, just saying, Peter O'Reilly, right? We'd be like, it's Peter O'Reilly. Get rid of him. Put him in prison, for misuse of public funds, because that's what it is. Misuse of public funds, the highest level. But obviously be acquitted, etc., etc. At the court, the usual stuff. But the fact of the matter, if you were in a private business now in the morning, if I was in a private company or business tomorrow and done something like that, and you wasted that much money, goodbye. Out the door you go. But it's all because it's the government, and the government protects high up civil servants, etc., etc. You never see anybody be held accountable. The same with the National Children's Hospital. Nobody's been held accountable in the Department of Health, and the Department of Finance. Nobody's held accountable for the insane costs of it. The same with the security. Nobody's ever held accountable. It's always forgiven, always forgotten. And it is important. I know people say there's bigger issues to fight at the moment, and I agree with you. But still, at the same time, how many more bicycle sheds or stuff like that has happened around the country that we don't know of? This is only the tip of the iceberg. This is only the top of the iceberg. If we look underneath, bicycle shed will be the least of our worries. But this is what we know. But again, it's the fact of the matter, there's no transparency. Simon Howes should have come out last night and said, we know who it is, we're going to sack him, we're going to put him in prison for this. But nothing like that. Basically, we don't know. I don't really care, to be told. It's more his answer. It's insane. It's generally lunacy to take. And especially because they can find out, Simon Howes said before too, that it's not like he can look it up within a minute. The things. And of course they can. They can do it nowadays. Not like years ago where they had to go through hundreds of files. They just have to look up who signed the document to say go ahead with the project. Who give the final yes, go ahead with it. And obviously it must have been Eamon Ryan too. Eamon Ryan must have knew something about it, of course, because he's all into the bicycles. But it's the fact of the matter was there's no accountability, there's no transparency, there's no like here's everything we know. Here's who was designing it, who was doing this. Basically, it's the usual carry on, just secrecy. It's like a secret society, to be totally honest. There's just, they give you small bits of information, but they won't take the full picture. Because at the end of the day, as I say, somebody should be going to prison. If right was right and wrong was wrong, it's the highest level of misuse of funds, to be totally honest. And the same with the security hut. Whoever signed off on that should really be going to prison for misuse of public funds, and that's what it is: misuse of public funds at the highest level. I would nearly say it's nearly a scam, to be totally honest. I nearly go as far as scamming. It's a scam. I nearly would go with that legislation, to be totally honest, because it wasn't a good investment on the state's part. It wasn't a good investment for you and I's tax dollars. The people, like, take for example myself, having to go to work now. I'm paying tax at the end of the week. That's seemed to be going to bicycle sheds. I wanted to go to children that has scoliosis, their operations. I wanted to go to look after the roads. I wanted to go to people waiting on mental health waiting lists. That's why I pay my taxes. I'm sure that's what the majority of people pay taxes for, not for a bicycle shed for TDs in Dáil. I never asked my taxes to go towards a bicycle shed, and to be totally honest, I don't want them going towards the TDs either. They can do without the money, in other words. But it's all, at the end of the day, what this really is about. It's about accountability. It's about truth. It's about if the series is about people trusting the government, and the democracy, etc., etc. Just having transparency. Is having, when something goes wrong, you deal with it, and you make sure it doesn't happen again. It's the fact of the matter: nothing has been loaned, all is forgiven, all is forgotten, and the same thing happened over and over and over and over again, because nothing ever changes. That's the thing about it. It'd be different if somebody loaned a lesson, or something was loaned, or somebody got the sack because of it. Nothing has changed. That's what I'm trying to say. So, and especially Simon Howe's coming out last night, like, it was a car crash interview, and that's with self-deportation. We'll talk about it another day, because that's a big other topic. But Fine Gael,